Hi, first and kindergarten parents. This is our training for our kid writing that we're hoping to be able to incorporate as the students are home with you. I know we've been doing notebooking, but haven't done a lot with explaining what the kid write process is. So today we're going to go over that so you can do this at home. Doing it one day a week will not receive the benefits that it can have for students who are worked with. Four times a week is the best. Um, anyway, this process we are going to be doing with our notebooking both in history and around the world. You can also do it in other subjects, but this is the focus that we're going to be doing it here. So you're going to see a switch in assignments, and that's going to be saying kid writing, and it will just be as a part of those two things normally. Once in a while, we'll do some other things, but this is the majority of our focus. And so I want to go over with you what we do in class or what you can do at home, because there is a process to kid write. It's not just sitting down and writing something really fast. It is a process to helping students learn how to think, how to formulate ideas, how to get those ideas on paper. And we talk about kid writing versus adult writing, as we acknowledge that kids are learning how to write. And so their spelling, their letter formation, things are still learning. Then we have adult writing. And the goal is that one day they too will be an adult writer. And so that is why we call them a kid write and adult write, and we do a lot of comparison. And this is all done in the attitude or spirit of encouragement. We really want to encourage attempts at writing. We want to encourage them that they do have a voice, that they can say things, and we want to help them learn how to do that. And so it's a very positive environment. And the thing I love about it is that it allows for different developmental levels, because you will find that we have students that can write in first grade sentences and spell the words mostly correctly, to students who are just learning to write and maybe write a few words, and that's okay. Just like walking, students actually learn to read and write in a developmental process between the ages of usually 4 and 7. We have some that are early at 4, some that are a little bit later, but that is basically why you will see such a wide variety. And so don't stress if you feel like your student is not where you want them to be. They will develop that. We provide opportunities and ways for them to do that. So let's get started really quick. I just thought this would be the easiest way. This is an example of the composition book that you all should have at home or something similar. The first thing we're going to do is pre-writing questions. Pre-writing is an important part of the process. And so when you go to maybe learn about, this week we're going to start studying the Inuit. So you sit down and say, oh, you can see on the syllabus, we're going to be doing Inuit clothing. What do you want to know about Inuit clothing? And let them, before you even start, ask those questions. You want it, that brings engagement, that brings them wanting to figure out what they want to learn. If they're not sure, you could offer some ideas. Well, I wonder if what their clothes are made of. I wonder what color they are. And so you can help them start asking questions that will start stimulating the learning. Once you just talk about for a minute or two what they want to know about, then either read the book, watch the video, do whatever the process is that we're going to be showing them information. And then we can ask the questions, what did you know about the clothing? Or what did you learn about the clothing now? What can it do if it's something that has movement or whatever? You can ask these questions, and that's why I include questions, to try to have an oral discussion to get the students thinking, so that they can create some ideas of what they might want to say about what they have seen or read or heard. Once you have those discussions done, then we go into the drawing or coloring. Now, drawing is probably the best way to get their minds going, and so we will do some of that. We also provide pictures. Part of that is just sometimes those things are really hard to draw, and so we have them color. Now, you can wonder why coloring. That may seem like a waste of time. But I will tell you that students actually develop their fine motor skills when they color, especially our kindergartners. Having them color is a great thing to do. I would not force it if they hate it, but encouraging them to color, to stay in the lines as they learn how to do those things, that's actually helping them to develop the skills they need for writing and writing well. And so once we have realized that they're drawing, they think about what they might want to draw. Oh, this is an example to this about a Viking ship. And so you could have them draw that, or once again, the picture that's been given. We're going to learn about snow monkeys. Let's color the snow monkeys. And they can color that and think about what you might want to be saying about the snow monkeys. Once that's done and that's put in their book, now we get to the actual writing part. We can say, what are you going to say about the picture? And this is where you will see a wide variety of things that are said. And you can allow your student to think about that. Give them time. We're going to do a short one today, we speak for time, but this is an example of a student has written, drawn a picture of a Viking ship, and we've asked the question, what are you going to say about this? And the student says they think about it and they want to say, the Viking ship was fast. Perfect. So they want to say the Viking ship was fast. Here's where you start letting them sound out the words. And we have taught them a thing called a magic line. And a magic line is used whenever a student just isn't quite sure what letters to put. So they won't get stuck on that. They can always draw a magic line that kind of takes the place that they know there's some letters there, but they're just not sure what they are. And that lets them keep moving. So let's say the Viking ship was fast. We have a student who doesn't know how to spell the word the. They're not quite sure of the sounds that says the. And so they may say, magic line. That's okay. So we draw a magic line. And that's going to hold the place for the letter or words, and in this case, for the word the. So that's going to be the word the. Now, Viking. What do you hear that says v? Oh, I know, V. All right. So, mind you, they are writing these letters, not us. I'm just showing you what they would be doing. So, vi, I. Oh, that's I. Okay, great. Put the I. And then k. Now, here's where you might have a C, you might have a K. Let's say the student says C, because C day says a K. That's okay. Viking, ing. What do you hear there? You might go E, and then I don't know. There's my magic line in g. Viking. Great job. The Viking ship. So we go sh. They may not be sure about that, but they may guess S. And they may even know it's SH. That happens a lot of times. Shit, they're not sure. Ship. They'll jump right to the end sound. And this happens especially with our younger students. They will just maybe do beginning and ending sounds, sometimes just an ending sound. When you say ship, they're going to say P. Perfect, put your P. The Viking ship was. Now, was is a sight word, so you'll see this a lot. W, and they and then they z. Perfect. The Viking ship was fast. So you get it? So we sound out, they're going to guess F. They may guess A, and they go fast. And they may not get the S, they may just get the T. And that's okay. And they go, that says fat. If they can't read, then you can right then discuss, well, then maybe there's another letter in there. Let's listen, fast. And they would fix it. But typically, if they could read fat, they would hear the letter S. And then we always encourage them to put our caboose, our ending, on our sentence. So there's all kind of different ways we'll be teaching you. This is one of the things we use as our ending, as our period. Now, this that they just did, they're writing. Okay, they're doing it. And so you would say, what goes at the end of your sentence? And they would put a period if they know that. If not, you would say, it's a period. And so you have them read them back. The Viking ship was fast. That's beautiful. What a wonderful job you did. Now let's do our adult writing. And so now I'm going to write in the adult writing. And they can start comparing. So here you put a magic line. That's for a word that you want to say the. The is a sight word. And so we just have to memorize how it sounds. So TH does say th. We have the. THE, the. So you did a good job putting your magic line. Nicely done. Now let's go to the word Viking. You're right, it is a V. Good job. So I put a little smiley face. I. Oh, look at that. You guessed that right too. Well done. Viking. You are right. A C does make the K sound. There's another letter that makes a K sound, and that is a K. The Viking. Oh, and you know what? Viking. It sounds like an E, but here's a very special rule we're going to learn. This is a rule called ING, and together this says ing. Oh, look at that. You got that G right, and you knew there was another sound in there, so you put your magic line. Well done. Good job. The Viking ship. Let's see what adult writing says. So right, SH does say sh. Good listening. And then the I and I says the P sound, is sound. And then you have the P, the Viking ship. Well done. Now let's go to the word was. You are right. And I have to put my smiley face, sorry. I'm trying to get through this. So you put a smiley face with everything that they've done correctly. Was, yes, you guessed the W right. What? And you know what? That U does say but here is a special another word that doesn't sound like it's written. It's called a sight word. And here's how you say was. You may put an A instead. Isn't that funny? But in this case, it does say wa. And then a lot of times this letter does say the Z sound at the end of a word. And so you're teaching them actually rules while they're writing. And they hear that the S says the Z sound, they're going to get that. And over time, they're going to automatically do it. It's amazing how this works. We talk about the word was. It's very close. That does make the Z sound. So that's a Z at the end of is. There's where the S makes the Z sound again. And you could go and do a bunch of lessons and just really quick go to the side and make some words that say the Z sound, or just say it and move on. The Viking ship was fast. So you're right. That's right. Good job getting the F sound and the A. Yes, well done again. And then there's one letter in here that you can hear fast and then T. Good job on the T. Well done. So look at that. Your kid writing, the Viking ship was fast, and adult writing is the Viking ship was fast. Wow, that's amazing. All the letters you got correctly. And then that's how basically you would end our session. Now in the class, what we also try to do is we try to share it. And we let different children, if they want to, share what they wrote. And we do rounds of applause and we do cool snaps and things to celebrate what they did. Not all students want to share, and that's okay. Some days you don't have a lot of time to share. So it's important when they get home that they share what they did in their journal with you and you really celebrate what they're doing. And so in this process, you're going to see, and as we go throughout the year, this kind of writing, the words are going to get more involved. They're going to get more sentences. You're going to see more and more words spelled correctly. And that's what's so exciting about KidWrite, is that it can take a student and develop them. And we may have students who will end up writing a whole page and pages, and they do that in first grade. I've seen them write full on, little paragraphs. And so that's the goal that we want to have them do in the kid writing. So at home, the key is doing this consistently and taking that time to work with them every time you're assigned one. We're trying to do it about 3 times a week at the moment, but please feel free to do more. If they want to have their more journal about other things, that's fine to do as well. It won't always relate to what we're reading or learning. Sometimes it could be like we did the All About Me book. At that point, we hadn't introduced this yet, but you could use this kind of writing for the sections that have it open where they have lines to write. Always try to go back to helping them sound out the words. With our kindergartners right now, we're just going to be working on dictation. So they tell you what to write and you write it like that, but the Viking ship was fast. And then talk about, can you find the V sound? Yeah, there it is. There's a V sound. What else do you notice? Oh, look, these 2 letters together say sh. So you kind of use what you've written to talk about a few phonics rules. And if they want to trace it, that's great. If they want to use like a highlighter and go over what you write, or use a pen and go over the pencil that you wrote, that's great too. Some of our kindergartners are ready to do these kinds of things, so let them. This magic line is super important. They may have a lot of magic lines, but by golly, they know that P sound and know the F sound. Perfect. Let them go at the pace that they are and continue to encourage them to grow. The last thing I'm going to be doing about kid writing is we're going to start learning Danielian. And Danielian is basically a precursor to cursive. And we do teach cursive in our classical program. It's important for fine motor skills. We have to sign your name. It's important for students to know that. And so in the Danielian handwriting, you will notice that our letters, and you notice I did some of them here, have little tails on them. And if you look at the word apple, you can see that. Eventually, you can probably tell, even Amanda's even better. Amanda, mind you, the A will change, but it's just a capital big A. And all they have to do is start kind of connecting the letters. And lo and behold, they are doing cursive. So this helps them learn to develop cursive. The kindergartners will probably be starting this more after the new year. They're just printing right now. We also do the regular printing because that's how a lot of our books are written. And so having them do both, this, like I said, starts in first grade, second semester of kindergarten and into our first grade year, we will be doing Danielian. So right now I'll be sending home just the alphabet. A lot of it's similar to how they already have learned to write their letters. The E is different. The K is very different. I will do a K right here. I did not do it here. I didn't want to cause confusion, but the K goes down, around, and curves like that. So it's a very different letter. However, you realize that's going to go right into how they do their cursive. If they're using this, we're not going to be super stringent on them using the cursive, the Danilian in their kid write, because at the moment we're trying to get them to just get their thoughts on paper and do it, to use what they know. This kid writing, like I said, is more for practicing fine motor and getting ready for cursive. A lot of times they want to start adding the curls, and that's great. So just so you know, that will be coming home for our first graders to start practicing. And once again, remember, we don't want to have our children overwhelmed with their writing. And so I hope that this helps explain a little bit more what our kid write process is, that it is a process, and the idea is to get them to think about what they want to write and getting that on paper. And so if you have any questions, please feel free to email me, and I hope that this helps explain what we're going to be doing moving forward. And thank you for listening. Have a great day.